Hey guys, welcome to the Florida homestead. So today's project is rebuilding Rosie. And no, I didn't blow it up. UPS did. Well, sort of. I'll show you when I get it off the wall, but the first thing we gotta do is get it off the wall, and then we have some new parts over here we're gonna be putting in it. There's I guess these are, I don't know if you'd call them transformers. Yeah, these are transformers. The inductors are on the other side. There's some screws that go into this thing here that hold the transformers in place. And I don't know if MidNite used the wrong size screws, or I don't exactly know what happened, but anyways, one of these came loose, broke a bunch of the plastic. Screw holes are stripped out. UPS got here with it. So we have some new parts. We also have the production bottom end, and we're going to show you some wiring over here. You got to excuse my wiring down here. It's a little bit messy because of where we're coming in, but if you look down in here, you'll see how the AC wiring has to come up through this, and you'll see how little space there is right here. It's pretty tight space. So the new bottom, this piece comes off for when you're using it with the E-panel, so you have a nice big pass-through. So we're gonna get this off the wall. We won't focus a lot on that. We'll show you, probably what we'll do is we'll do one video on tearing Rosie apart, rebuilding it, showing you what's going on. And then we'll do a second video where we reassemble it to the wall, the whole Rosie, and do the wiring. And then we'll show you how that works. And then we're going to do some videos on firmware updating as well, because that's kind of different than what you're used to with the MidNite products. So we're going to try to get you some videos of that. So Sue's just going to kind of get some video while I pull this thing off the wall. I've already verified I've got no power, kind of the first thing you want to do. I'm in bypass so we can see out here the battery breaker's off. So yeah, I'm just going to jump in and I'm going to get going. Off the wall without shorting anything out. So if you see sparks, close your eyes. Alright, so we're going to let Sue kind of get you guys a view as we're going here. See what we've got to do to get this thing apart. So what we're after is this board right here. This piece right here. There's some plastic pieces in under these transformers that are broke up because these screws right here and here came loose during UPS shipping. So what I've got to figure out is exactly how to get that board out of there. I think I got to take this side off. So I'm going to take this top off. So then there are two fan connectors right here, and they are labeled positive and negative, and we're on fan 1 and fan 2, so we're going to go ahead and unplug those so we can take that out of our way. And I'm going to take this screw out. Alright, so we figured out the connector. Takes something really small. Sue found this little old crochet hook, and that fit down in there, and you push down in the square and it releases the wire. Apparently, you'd think that Allen wrench would be small enough, but it didn't seem to fit. We've changed this plastic board. Like I say, there's 2 screw holes. Where are they? I guess it'd be this one and this one right here that these transformers bolt down to. And there was just a little bit of question whether they stripped out, like if UPS had this upside down bouncing and they stripped out, or if production forgot to put them in, or what the case was. So we just, MidNite decided they wanted me to change that. So we're going to go ahead and put those screws in. And we're getting close to putting this thing back together. Couple tight spots in here. It is nice that they make this board field serviceable, so that if you ever had a failed relay or something, ribbon cable is keyed, so it can only go one way. The pretty much all the hardware to change the board is just a few screws like that. So you wouldn't, the customer wouldn't be changing this in the field. There'd be no reason to. If there was ever a need for a filter board, you basically unhook these 4 wires, and MidNite may need to supply some kind of tool, but from what I understand, you just push that back down in like that, and they're marked blue, white, white with a trace, blue with a trace. So blue, white, white with a trace, and blue with the trace, except for that one's under that wire. Let's just go over it. Blue with the trace. So that's it. The filter board's changed, so now what we're going to do, for your benefit so you can see a little bit better, we're going to put that up there. This side panel goes back on like so. Somewhere I got a whole bunch of screws. And there is one right here. If you put that one in first, that will locate the elevation of this panel, up and down if it's on the wall, or left and right here, if you want to look at that. And then we just put in a bunch of these screws. Like I say, you might be able to field replace that filter board without taking this side off. The good thing is, if you can, that means you could do it right on the wall. I took it off the wall because I wanted to change this end plate, because the end plate they sent me originally was that one. And I'll show you in just a second here a little better. Well, actually, I'll give you a little primer in this one, and then the next video we're going to install this, power it up, and then we're going to walk you through a firmware update in a yet another video, because I don't want to complicate the firmware update video. I want it to be its own video. So yeah, you can see where, I don't know if you could get it up enough to clear that little spot right there, but I bet you could. I bet if you took everything out, you could pick it up, because there's a stud right here and a stud right here that are for grounding. And it only has to come up a little bit to come off that and go that way, and then clear everything. So I do believe you could actually change this in the field with no hardship at all. So we're going to plug our fans back in. Remember, we were on 1 and 2, and red is up, positive is up. Oh, it doesn't matter which fan on this one, I don't think. I didn't pay attention to that, taking it off. It actually may, because remember, Rosie is 2 separate 120 volt inverters internally, because it's high frequency. So you've got a channel of FETs here and a channel of FETs here. So it may prefer that you keep them correct. But we'll have to ask the engineering about that. I know on the Barcelona charge controller, because it's 2 channels, it has fans on both sides and the fans run independently. So if channel 1's working really hard and getting hot and channel 2 is not, only channel 1's fans come on. So FedEx dropped us off a bunch of parts for the truck yesterday, so we'll be having well, it's Friday, so we'll be having a lot of Dodgy videos because we'll be doing a lot of work on Dodgy this weekend. So that's it. Rosie's back together, and this is what I wanted to show you. So this is the cover that will eventually be what they call the renewable energy version. So this cover can come off. We have this big hole, and it's hard for me to show you on the E-panel because of all the wires, which actually kind of makes it easy to show you. But this sets down in the E-panel, so you can see this hole right here. This is supposed to set right straight down in there, and you see how all those wires have to go through 1 or 2 of these holes, and everything's quite tight there. So having that big hole in the Rosie, I do believe, is going to make life a lot easier. But that's kind of it. So I think we're going to wrap that up. It's probably way too long already just to change a filter board, but that's our process of changing the filter board on the Rosie. And we're going to go ahead and we'll bring you back here in just a minute and show you installing a Rosie on the E-panel, firing it up, testing for voltage, and then of course we'll do another video of firmware update. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.